Hey there guys, how's it going? Reaper here, and I'm back with another painting video, and this time we're doing Kar Drakir. I believe that's how you say it anyway. It's essentially a Reaper Bones Lizard Man champion, but I don't want a lizard man, so I'm actually painting it up more as a Dragonborn with a weird head, because for the life of me I cannot find a Dragonborn Barbarian mini. The only way I could find it was Hero Forge, and I figured I'm just going to use the Reaper Bones one because it's cheaper. And it's good enough for what we're using it for. But I primed it in standard grade like I always do, and I've jumped straight into going with the bronze flesh, because Dragonborns, they're obviously metallic in nature, so I wanted the bronze Dragonborn, so I'm using Army Painter's Weapon Bronze, and this is covering all the flesh parts. Anything visible that is flesh is getting painted like this. This is probably one of the simpler models I've painted as well recently, as there was actually only 4 colours and a wash, and then just go back and highlight up with the same colours. So if you guys wanted to do that, you can make this so much more detailed than I have done. It's just because I don't need it to be that I haven't done it like that. Because I could easily go get the Vallejo metallic additive thing and make my own metallic colours, so I can highlight up with that. But instead I've just washed it and come back with the weapon bronze afterwards, as that's all it needs for this. It's kept its metallic shine. I haven't varnished this one like I do with the other models, because it will lose that shine and then it will just look brown or orangey brown colour. It will look like a lizard like it should do. But this has come out pretty well, considering there's only a few colours on there. Like, a lot more than I thought it would. But there we go, that's it for the weapon bronze. And then we move on to the metallic parts. Well, the actual metal parts, not the skin. And this is Army Painter's gunmetal. And to keep it simple, I've done every metallic part with this in this colour. I haven't bothered to mix anything up or add a handle to the sword and things like that. I figured this is a barbarian. He's going to be the basic as basic it can be, because he just needs a tool to do his thing. And standard metal sword, that works. He can do some serious damage with that thing. And there we go. That's it for all the metallic parts now. Then we move on to the small parts of leather that he's got on there. and this is with werewolf fur. It is essentially just his loincloth is the only thing, and he's got a few straps holding his armor on, of course. And there we go. That's it for all the leather parts. And then we move on to the final base color, which is skeleton bone. And that is claws, teeth, and eyes. It's the only thing I paint with this color. I tried to keep this mini as basic as possible, but still good enough that it would look nice on the table, which I think I've done pretty well. And strangely enough, it still took just as long as it does normally. It's not even like doing something simpler makes it take less time, because you have to focus a bit more on the simple things to make sure it looks how it should do. But you could easily go in on this model and make it look pristine. Like the thing around its neck, you could easily do that as colored gems. You can do the embroidery on the shield as a different color. There's all sorts of things you can add to this model. But I am using this as just a basically one-off NPC, so I didn't really need to. Now we move on to the wash, and it is Army Painter's dark tone, and the entire model gets covered in this wash. Now I found the colored washes are only good in certain situations, so normally I would just take one of the wash and just whole model, because it sort of blends everything in so it looks like a complete thing, and then the highlights just can just make certain areas pop out. Because even if you are doing a simple model, I would still recommend doing a few highlights, as there are certain parts of the model you want to pop. And there we go. That is wash complete, and then we'll come back with the highlights. And we move straight on to weapon bronze. And the highlight for this, I didn't do the whole skin. I've just gone around each. On the model, you have certain areas that have actual scales instead of raw flesh. So I've just touched up all the edges of those scales just to make them shimmer a little bit, make them look like actual scales. But of course, when you're doing this, be very careful not to push it right up to the edge of the next scale, as you still want that depth that the wash has caused. Otherwise, you might as well not bother washing it. Here we go. That's it for the highlights for that. And then we come on with the skeleton bone highlight. And this is just touching up eyes and claws again. And teeth, obviously. But I've tried to keep them looking a little bit dirty, so I haven't really covered the entire claw again with this. So I've left almost streaky brush marks going across it, just so it adds a little bit of variation. It doesn't look like a solid colour. And there we go. Then we're back with, and I use shining silver for this, but gunmetal would work fine as well. I just wanted a little bit more brightness, so I've gone with shining silver. It just looks, yeah, like makes it stand out a lot more. Like that shoulder, those shoulder pads look so much nicer now. They've got a really bright outline. And same with the shield. I just quickly go over just roughly around where the marks are on the shield. It doesn't have to be perfect, as this thing is meant to be dirty. It's a shield, it blocks things. And then with the sword, I do mess up a little bit and make it too thick on the edges. But as you'll see in a sec, I just wipe my finger across it and it gives it that like, sort of oily stained look. Which normally you would get from doing a wash on top, but because of the way I messed up, I just recreated it the reverse. And there we go, that's all the metallic highlights done, and that is essentially the mini done now. I'll just come back and do the black base as I usually do. I feel like this mini's came out pretty well, considering I've only used, I think it was 6 paints altogether that I've used, and it's come out pretty much tabletop ready. That's how I would want a model to be. And the black I'm doing there doesn't really make much of a difference. It just darkens the eyes a little bit. It's a more reptilian-like. But there we go. That is a blurry final image, but the next one should be fine. Probably should work okay. There we go. That's more like it. Just watching, guys. Like, subscribe if you did enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.